Okay, so let's talk about the Eagles. And boy, does this bring me joy because listen,
Well, since
it's
you're a Cowboy fan, I get it brings you joy.
it brings me joy. Boy, did they end the season poorly. That this they really did not
Yeah.
look good to end the season, Josh. Taking a loss in the playoff game, 23-19 over the 40 against the 49ers.
I think they were 4.5 point or 5 point favorites going in.
Yeah.
And you and I both correctly said the Niners would go in and pull off the upset.
I thought it was without a doubt. I thought it was without a doubt the Niners were going to take that game. Now you've got a lot of Eagle fans, Josh, saying, "Is Jalen Hurts even that good?" And I honestly think that that's a real conversation to have. I really do.
I I don't like that question yet. It is clear as day that Kevin Patullo is not good as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Because when you look at Hurts stats, not just this, I mean, you could look throughout the entire season, but if I just look at the last 5 games, he only, in the last 5 games, he only got over 200 passing yards once, and in that game, he threw 4 picks. He only surpassed 300 passing yards once this season.
Yeah, 3,200 yards total.
And in addition, though, it's not like it was because he took a back seat to Saquon this year, because this was definitely a huge down year for Saquon.
Right.
And again, and I'm not blaming Saquon. Just Kevin Patullo just didn't know what to do with these guys. And when you have that, and then you start the season with, I think it was Jalen Carter getting ejected on the first play of the season. And then the whole A.J. Brown fiasco, where all of a sudden he's the man of the ball, angry, and then has, 3 crucial drops in this game?
Yeah, right.
With Sirianni arguing with him. Eagles got some explaining to do, because the Niners came in, we already knew how depleted they've been all season, and then George Kittle tears his Achilles, and they still find ways to get the ball to Demarcus Robinson.
Yeah.
You have Juwan Jennings throwing a touchdown pass.
Right.
And Christian McCaffrey, the guy who should have been the one that was hurt all year for the Niners, has been the healthiest one.
I know. And I traded him away in fantasy just for the expectation that he was going to get hurt. And
which so many people do. And then there's just 1 out of every 4 years where that person gets burned because he stays healthy.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, the Eagles, you got to fix the offensive coordinator spot. You got to do that. Because Jalen Hurts should be throwing the ball more. It is time to move on from A.J. Brown, because he clearly does not want to be there. And Devontae Smith is a legit number 1 receiver, so you still have a good guy, and you can get stuff for A.J. Brown.
Right, yeah.
Tank Bigsby can be a bona fide contributor to any team.
Yeah.
And you only gave him 4 carries in this game, but he had 19 yards with those 4 carries.
Yeah.
So they certainly can bounce back, but with Dallas showing the improvements that they did towards the end of the season, Washington will be better than they were this year because of all just the injuries that they depleted with.
Yeah, right. Can't get worse for Washington.
Right. Well, it can't get worse for the Giants either. They could only get better, and you're bringing back, Dart and Scattaboo, and Malik Neighbors come back healthy. This ain't going to be a walk in the park for the Eagles next year.
Yeah.
So I think what happens next season, whatever adjustments they make, that could spell questions to either Jalen Hurts and, more importantly, Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I think that was the big one. I was wondering if you were going to bring that up, because I have never been a Nick Sirianni guy. Never have been. First of all, I think he's a tool. I really do. I think he's just and to be honest, like he kind of perfectly fits in Philadelphia for that reason, right? But I agree with you in the sense that they got to move off AJ Brown. They have to move off AJ Brown, and that situation has soured enough to where.
And how much has he? And how much has AJ Brown himself damaged what the Eagles can get in return?
I'm sure a bunch.
Yeah,
I'm sure a bunch.
All of a sudden now, can they get a 3rd round pick for him?
I don't know
the way he's at. Right.
I don't know that they can.
And he's like a top 7 wide receiver in the league.
I think you're going to see a lot. I think that the return that you could see for AJ Brown is a lot what the Cowboys got for Amari Cooper. I think it could be like a 4th round pick and maybe like a 4th round pick and a 6th round pick for AJ Brown in like a 5th or something. It'll be something like that.
Right. Like right now, I think the only player that the Eagles could get for AJ Brown is Ja Morant. That's all I think they can pull off right now.
Well, listen. Yeah. They'll take on the Grizzlies would take on a bad contract.
Oh, they've done it before.
Ja Morant too. Yeah, that's right. Oh boy. But yes, I agree. I look, they certainly need to figure out a different offensive philosophy heading into next season. And I really like what you said about that it isn't going to be a cakewalk for them in the division next year. It really isn't. Because based on how they ended this year, I mean, things they really do have to kind of retool a little bit. And I think that with 2 first-round picks and some money to play with, I genuinely think the Cowboys could be pretty good next year. I really believe that. You know what I mean? If they can figure out, if the Cowboys can figure out how to fix their defense, right? They hire the right defensive coordinator. They invest with their draft picks and their cap space into that defense. They get
the draft picks and the money. You got to draft secondary and maybe another O-line guy.
Maybe I wouldn't say O-line, but give me an edge rusher or something. You got to. They need to figure out something to do with their defense. But look, this is not going to be an easy. Obviously, depending on what the Giants do with their head coach, Malik Neighbors comes back next year with Jackson Dart,
and they got the 4th pick.
Yeah, 5th
pick.
5th. But Lord knows what they could use that on, and that's that. You want to talk about an underrated defensive line pass rush group. The Giants certainly have that with Burns, and Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter, and Dexter Lawrence. I mean, that's a very, very talented group. And then again, Washington was just in the NFC Championship game last year, so it's not like they're too far down the hole.
And they get a top 10 pick now, and Jaden Daniels comes back healthy. Okay, well, I think Washington's biggest thing right now is they need to improve their running game.
They do.
So whether it's in the draft or you try to bring someone in, you get a healthy Jaden Daniels, you improve your running game. They're back in the mix too.
They need help on the offensive side of the football big time.
Yeah,
they really do. Receivers, running game, they need a lot of help on the offensive side of the football. But anyway, how do we feel about San Francisco right now? Right? The 49ers did not run away with this football game, right? They now have to go to Seattle. I mean, is this I don't know, man. I didn't leave that game feeling all that confident about San Francisco either.
Well,
Brock Purdy certainly didn't look like his best.
Well, again, Philly's as abysmal as their offense has been this year, it's the reason that they've done what they've done was because of their defense. That's been the theme of today's show.
Yeah.
Teams had some really good defense in the playoffs. And And obviously, it didn't help things with Kittle going down.
Yeah.
So I can, see again, Kyle Shanahan finds ways.
Yeah.
And that's why he is considered such a brilliant coach, as opposed to Matt LaFleur, who, if you're just joining us, watch the first hour. So that's why, and we'll get into our picks in our last segment for the divisional round. Brock Purdy, as long as he manages it, Kyle Shanahan will figure it out. And I mean, we saw early in the season where all of a sudden Mac Jones was able to lead them, thanks to Kendrick Bourne. This game against the Eagles, it was Demarcus Robinson and wide receiver Kyle Juszczyk. I mean,
yeah, right.
So he figures out ways to keep them to compete. And you look across the board, honestly, there weren't many people besides you and I that were on the Niners' side for this matchup.
No.
And it's probably going to be the same when they go to Seattle against a familiar foe. So we'll have to, we'll save it for our last segment.
We will.
But the Niners keep finding ways.
They do. They certainly do. And it's easy to do that when Kyle Shanahan's your head coach.
Yeah.